Darn it, I thought I'd almost cracked it. The audio was running even when I clicked off the screen, and I didn't know why that was, and it had to do with the fact that the in the taskbar the thing was highlighted. Did? I don't know. If we pin it, will that do it? No, it won't. Oh well. Doesn't matter. We still gotta click on it. That's the weird part about this whole thing, you know? Hi! How's it going? We're gonna do more Torment now. And unfortunately, once again, it's not gonna... So it's back to doing the audio in that strange way that I click away and nothing happens. So I have to do other things to make it seem as though the soundtrack's still going on. Alright. Let's see. Got you up here. Alright. I know, it seems strange. Why? How does this work? I don't know. So close! Oh yes, that's right. We just discovered, we tried to plunge into Eratus's brain and it didn't do too well. As we were here. Trying to figure that out, so let's continue to try to figure it out. I should probably be on the other side, though. Probably. Let's see how we fare in the lower right. Lower right's probably better for us. Yes. Just right, as, like, people. Okay, so there's stuff up this way. I can help you find what you're looking for. I'm a little concerned about this person. You seek answers, I can tell. Alright. Is that another layer up there for running around on? Hey friend, come over here. I'm very concerned. So, I've arrived at the Valley of Dead Heroes. Now I need to locate the first Castoff's tomb. The passage to Mila Vest is supposedly inside the tomb. And now we're supposed to do something where we also, Children of the Endless Gate have made a slaughterhouse of the valley. The only way they'll leave is if I can close their gate in the Necropolis somehow. If the gate's in the Necropolis, first step will be to find a way into the Necropolis tombs. So there's that. Decipher Phoenix's note. Gave me the note that is troubling him. If I can figure out what it means, maybe I can help him. No idea how we do that. We're working on it. Still learning about the tides. The Lost Shepherd. Finding a herder's crook in the Valley of Dead Heroes, I heard Eratus's voice inside my mind. Could Eratus have done something to me? So we gotta go there. Into our brain. Let's see, what else is happening? And there's a floating crystal over there that I'm excited to poke at. But first, I guess we'll talk to Tantalum. An old battered-looking swordsman in dull gray armor stands here, whistling tunelessly, his hands near the hilt of his well-used sword. Scars wreathe his face, and what you took for a helmet reveals itself to be a dome of metal grafted to him. He smiles as you approach. How do, stranger? I'm Tantalum. Or Tantalum, depending on which side of the room you're standing. You know, Tantalum, it's a metal, sticks to flesh. He raps his knuckle on the dome. Chirurgeons said they had to cut a chunk of my brain out, too, so I lost my name and my history, and, well, I took the name of the stuff that saved me. He scratches. Anyway, I need to remember myself. It's said that the Necropolis can give anyone what they seek. Knowledge, riches, fame, if you search hard enough. And I searched, and I found. Now I'm here to help others find their answers. You look like you're searching for answers, too. There are hundreds, thousands of tombs in the Necropolis. Legend says if you read them, learn from them, then you'll find the answers you seek. He gives you a warm smile. I promise it will be worth your while. You'll certainly find some answers, friend, even if they're not what you seek. Let's see. Sounds too good to be true. I thought so too, but I tell you it changed my life. I mean, even beyond the stuff I found down there. Speaking of which, if you find anything you want to trade, let me know. All right. So much to read. Why are you standing around here? Waiting for any passerby that are seeking truth like I was, I found my answer. I consider it my duty to help others find theirs. Based on the bodies, I'm guessing the cultists don't bother you much. He nudges one of the corpses with his foot. They've tried a couple times. Once they even came to my tent at night and tried to cut my throat with my own blades. Idiots. My knives are made of tantalum and stuck to my flesh, and the cultists woke me. If they'd used the tools they'd brought, like normal murderers would, instead of being impressed by mine, I'd be dead now. As you can see, I'm not, and the situation's markedly different for them too. Yeah, a little bit different. I'm looking for a specific tomb. Friend, I don't really keep track of most of the tombs, and like I may have said before, my memory isn't what it used to be. But let me guarantee this. You explore these tombs, you're bound to find what you need. Alright. What is this tantalum metal, anyway? It's one of the only metals that adheres to living flesh. Rare people like me, maybe only me, can turn that property on and off with the power of a thought. It's why I've got this built-in Hamlet. This built-in Hamlet! Built-in Hamlet. Oh, alas, poor Yorick. It's why I've got this built-in helmet now, and lets me control my blades. Makina eyes the man speculatively. This metal, you know where I can get some? Because of course. Of course! No idea, he responds cheerfully. He turns back to you. My sword, for instance. He slaps the hilt and you see that he wears no belt to anchor the blade. His knives are likewise anchored directly to his flesh. If I want the sword, I need but think on it, and it's in my hands. Likewise for the knives. And then, and this is the part I like, when I've buried him in an enemy, the blades are stuck there till I say it's time for him to go. Good thing this metal is bonded to respond only to me. If someone else could control it, why, I don't know what I'd do. Yeah, me neither. He seems so proud of that. He clamps his hands over the dome, protecting his brain. Honestly, I'd be running away holding this on. Can always find more swords, but I've only got one brain. At least as far as I can tell. His smile is a little harder. Some folks have tried to take this stuff from me to make it work for themselves. That didn't go well for them. Can you tell me about the area? The whole place, this valley, it's been here for who knows how long. Someone came through and cleaned out all the life from the valley, and they made sure that nothing would ever grow up here again. Are you just asking me to explore the tombs as a way to stock your little trading post? If I weren't so good-hearted, I'd be offended. I mean, really. The trade is a benefit, I'd grant, but the real joy is watching travelers find their truths out there. The truth, if only more people realized it sooner. What do you have to trade? Ah! Oh, he's got stuff. Barrel of Indomitability! Heals 6 points of health per turn. And 100% plus 100% damage. Micro mesh, also what I am wearing. Synth breastplate. Varied. Buzzer. Does anyone need a weapon? I mean, I don't think Rin can use weapons. Slug spitter. 10 physical damage at range. That's interesting. I don't know. I'll think about it. Spray flash whispers. It's an artifact. 4 energy damage, 4 physical damage, plus 3 damage per effort applied, max plus 12, light weapon bonus. Azuvia. 3 armor, 4 resistance, plus 1 intellect pool. Hey! That could come in handy. It's better than my current armor. And increases my intellect, which of course is something I'm all about. Shield of the Ceteral Prince. Ceteral Prince? Offhand. When hit by an attack, confers hobbled to the attacker. Nice. Battle Axe. Yeah, the Quick Ice Axe is better. Encephalic Rush. Fleetfoot Moss. Illustrated Force. Great Axe. It's so great. Well, it gives it more damage. It's an interesting question. Reactive Plate. Eratus' undershirt. But it does subtract a heck of a lot from might and speed. When hit by an attack, grants the wearer protected. Active 1 round. Thunder Cannon. Hey. Yeah, and heavy ranged weapon. Heavy ranged weapon. Confer knockdown on hits. Alright. Rapier. Oh, she does have a weapon. She can wield light weapons, can she? I guess she can. She has the crystalline shard right now. She should get something better. Like a rapier? Maybe. Shard's worth more. It does exactly the same thing. Okay. Deals 18 chemical damage, confers bleeding to all characters, and range of the target point. Okay. Limnic Rejuvenator heals 23 points of health on all allies in range of target point. Okay. So. A lot of these armors are only usable by the Last Castoff, so that's not going to work. But, it's a thought. It's a thought. These are kind of expensive. But I will admit they could come in handy. This in particular, I think I'm going to get this, at the very least. Just for the sake of having the thing. Because I think that'll be helpful. The form-fitting biological armor is very light and hardy, and hardly. Now habita. I will never learn to read. And hardly restricts the wearer's movement at all. The mottled carapace appears different at each viewing, varying in color, pattern, and even texture when touched. Occasionally, its appearance seems to shift subtly in a disconcerting manner. This sense of unease grows if the armor is observed for long stretches of time. When worn, the armor emits a dissonant hum at the edge of a human hearing. It vanishes if the wearer focuses upon it, but it returns when their attention wanders. Give to me. Yes! Oh, that's messed up. Don't really like the look of it, but, you know, it's more protective. No, the armor is a personal thing, so yeah. We'll go ahead and sell this. And we will think about the possibility of getting the shield for somebody. Plus 20% of evasion. This shield adds... the shield I'm wielding adds to the might pool. So it's a thought. I don't know. Considering it, you know, getting a better shield for Rin. Have to figure it out. I could sell these objects, the great sword and the shield, although they're not really worth that much. I think we're gonna just be done, and we'll come back if we need any additional stuff.
Eritis? I've been thinking. Have you had any other ailments? Fever? Sweating? Fever sweating?
Have you?
Oh, I didn't say I'd kept thinking. The thinking passed quite quickly, really.
These things happen. Alright. Actually, I kind of want to talk to him about that.
Why? Why are we here again?
You have returned at long last. Ignore your pain and push on. This is your moment. This, Eritis begins brightening. This is my moment, isn't it? Do I get to die here in glorious combat, or... Oh, am I fighting an army? Right here because of you, Eritis, don't you remember? Your thoughts told you to ignore your pain. What's wrong? Wrong? Eritis chuckles through his teeth. Nothing's wrong. I'm a living legend. I can't complain about anything. I can't. His glow intensifies and he straightens. He casts a look around, sags, and frowns at you. I hate to criticize you, but we should already be having a desperate last stand. It's awfully quiet here. You should have planned things better. You don't actually want a last stand, do you? I shouldn't have to say this, but this journey of ours is not all about you. You don't actually want a last stand, do you? What a silly question, he says, shaking his head. Of course I do. How else am I supposed to survive against all odds? Let's split up for now. No. What happened to that shepherd's crook I found in that alcove, anyway? A shepherd probably took it, he says, looking around with a scowl. Took it into a dark place. Maybe a labyrinth. Maybe they took it there. His fist is trembling at his side, and his aura is fluctuating wildly. He's talking about the echo. The what? Make him stop talking immediately. He flinches as though someone has slapped his forehead, and the glow returns to its normal brilliance. Shepherds aren't interesting, he says slowly. We should stop talking about them and where they're hiding now. Stop talking about them and where they're hiding now. How are things between us? I couldn't be happier with you if you were another me, he says again. Let's talk another time. Good idea. Alright.
To action!
I'm gonna wander over this way. And we're going to loot that pedestal. Oddity. This dusty ball is whiter than anything you've ever seen. At the merest touch, it swirls with a myriad of colors that shifts to different hues as you move your fingers and 15 shins. Take everything. And now let's go play with the giant crystal, because of course we must. We'll save the game again, because of course we will. A huge crystal floats in front of you, seemingly unaffected by the wind that washes through the valley. Within, red and blue patterns lazily cycle and twist. The crystal hums softly, almost invitingly. Tidal affinity tells us it has been infused with tidal energy. Its colors are emblematic, and you can feel the tendrils of force that coil from it, stretching toward some distant, unknown destination. Oh, we're going to look at this. Ah! The crystal swirls madly, and your mind is pulled back into memory, but not your own. This is a stranger's life, a life of torment. He said, branding, a lifelong torment. From his first conscious moment, he has been surrounded by monsters, a sacrifice to the unseen. A hair's thickness from consensus reality. Horrors crawl and gibber, or gibber, depending on which side of the room you're standing, and he must howl with them or be devoured. When at last he can open a door to the world of sanity to escape this endless pain, he does. And he steps through into an abattoir. Robed and hooded cultists devour the dead, and they revere him for the journey he's undertaken. In their adulation, they strive to follow his path, wallowing in their own shame and agony. An endless burlesque of horror they hope will end in transcendence. He flees from them, from a darker menace inside him, but they follow inescapably, his children. XP! No matter where he hides, they linger on the other side of the door, awaiting a new revelation, making bloody offerings of themselves. Then one brings a different sort of offering, a dripping charnel sack that spills out a girl. Choi, the man calls her, still alive, just long enough to look at him with pleading eyes before she's gutted. For you, the man says. Or is it Hua? I don't know. He flees into a hellscape, into madness, but they follow him everywhere, grinning, bloody, adoring children. Good Lord.
Making a note.
Then the crystal swirls before you again and the memory fades, but something clings behind like rancid grease. The horror of what was done to the girl, Choi, hangs on you. Your memory now as much as it was on you, your memory now as much as it was the man's. Your memory now as much as it was the man's. There we go. Just have to sometimes say a sentence 19 times before you can figure it out. And his own suffering lingers too. The cultists who beset him seem little different from those who now haunt and harrow the valley. Perhaps by unraveling this crystal's tangled skein, you will learn some of their secrets. I'm all for skein unraveling. I'm going to do this because I can. Going to appear down here. Yes. Wait. Yeah. Just adjusting my settings real quick here. There we go. There we go. Cool. I just thought perhaps I would make myself slightly more visible on the screen. We'll see how that works. Now. Yeah, I might need to reduce it back down again, depending on what we're looking at, but I think we'll be okay. We'll find out. Back to this. Guess we'll look at the crystal again. The visions replay again as they did last time. The scenes of abuse and horror are burning themselves into your mind. The name Choi rings loudly, and again you're ejected into the conscious world. Alright.
Let's go.
I'm just curious. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's going to be the same thing over and over again. Okay. So. Let's see what the journal says. Severed child. Ask around about Choi. I saw a disturbing memory inside a floating crystal in the valley. The memory belonged to a man tormented by horrors beyond his control and bloodthirsty cultists who kill for him, whether he wants them to or not. The memory contained few leads to follow, but the name of a young girl was mentioned, Choi. This valley is full of the dead and their memorials. Maybe someone knows more about what happened to her. Mayhap. Okay. Well, let's see. I mean, I could come back down and chat with all of these people. Find out if they know what a Choi is. let's see. That leads to Necropolis, so that's probably going to be helpful. I mean, is it worth running around and trying to talk to everybody again just to see if they've heard about this Choi person? Eh?
I need you to walk ahead of me, Eratus.
Might
You
be.
wish me to lead this fine band? My pleasure.
No. Your glow is making it hard for me to find the shadows.
Hee hee.
It'll improve the view, too.
Wait a minute. Is she making a double Nintendo? I'm not sure. No, it's not a double Nintendo or PlayStation or any other consoles. Haven't seen The Secrets of the Valley? I've read at least 20 tombs. I haven't read any tombs yet. I remember when I was just starting out too. Bright-eyed, hopeful. You have a lot to look forward to. No, just wanted to check and see if you had any Choi info.
All right.
I don't think there's anything left in there to look at.
Ready.
Let's go ahead and save this. Once again, knowing that that's what we're looking for. We're on a Choi hunt.
Yes.
We're in the light, yay. I mean, yeah, the cultists would know, maybe. Get away from us. Stay out of our way. Okay. You're no fun. I mean, I doubt Blob of 3 will be able to help us, but we'll find out. Again. Nope.
All right.
Check in with people over on the left. These are all folks who are just muttering. Okay, we don't. She doesn't want to talk to us anymore. They don't want to talk to us anymore. And I don't think the travelers are gonna have any idea who or what Choi is. Okay, it's not really gonna tell me much of anything. All right, well it's good to know, you know, to think about these things. Shadow step negative. Oh,
I'm ready.
so whenever we do this, my mic goes down. That's interesting. Is that how this works?
Yes. Now.
I need to find out why I have a minus to my mic pool. Shadow step. Yeah, well, I'm wearing it. +1 damage per effort applied. That would explain why. I have a lot of things here. I should really think about what I want to do with all of these things. Current ornament. Deals damage when hit. Let's me do a sucker punch. Things to think about. Actually. Yeah. I kind of want to hand this off. But everybody's got an ornament, so never mind. That's why I can't hand it off.
Did you really fall out of the sky?
I didn't fall out of the sky. I plummeted. Gracefully, I might add.
Isn't that the same as falling?
Not when I do it, no.
Nope.
All right.
Here we go. An enemy's armored. Change up the damage type of your attacks with abilities or ciphers to overcome it. Oh, hey. Stunted and piebald with a large, hairless head. This humanoid reminds you of a court jester, except that his wide, violet eyes sparkle with cunning and intelligence, giving the impression there is much going on inside his large dome.
Who are you? You can't be here. Why did you come?
Several people bound and beaten along the far wall, surrounded by corpses. Ah, here we go. At second glance, some of those bound may themselves be dead as well. The man steps closer, lowering his voice to a growl.
Well, answer me.
The muttering cultist who welcomed you to the valley steps forward. He is a new arrival, Motley. We came across him on our hunt. These cultists look very similar to each other.
Ah, he addresses you again. Well, you should know the Necropolis is closed to outsiders. You aren't welcome here. It's closed to all, in fact. Damn that woman.
Never mind, I'll leave. What's going on here? He looks around, comprehension dawning on his face as he takes in the room and its contents.
Ah, it's not what you think.
His mouth widens in an ugly smile.
We were just defending ourselves, trying to reclaim what small part of this world fate has seen fit to cede us. It never would have come to this if we'd only had someone to help us explain.
Making a note.
He gestures to the open corridor.
We are worshippers, you see. There's a terminal down there that provides access to the tombs, but this memorialist,
he spits at the woman behind him,
has placed a whisper lock on it. Without the code, we cannot enter the tombs and join our Lord Inifir in worship. She's rather narrow-sighted and doesn't see the value in what we do. If we regain our access to the gate, we can show her firsthand.
He smiles. The effect is not reassuring.
It would be better to release them in Lord Inifir's presence, but any end is justified.
Ah, boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 of them. I don't know if we can take them. Matt Keena mutters to you.
Skist. We need access to the terminal if we want to reach Mila Vest. We need to get that whisper lock code.
Let them go. There must be some way we can solve this peaceably. I want to help you. I'm not interested in your squabbles. I just need to enter the Necropolis. Never mind, I'll leave.
The time for peaceable solutions is over.
That's what they always say when they're impatient.
The gate awaits, and we must answer its call at any cost. Their lives are forfeit whether we have the code or not, but we must have it.
If you kill them all, how will you get the code then? You'll be lost forever. If you don't care about the cost, then let me try. You can still get the code from them if I fail. Please, give me a chance to save lives. Some costs are too high. It's one of these two, right? These first two. If you don't care about the cost, then let me try. You can still get the code from them if I fail, which is very mercenary, but also is what we want to do. If you kill them all, how will you get the code then? You'll be lost forever. Ah, Blue Tide. That's the one we wanted. And if we don't follow through on our threats, no, they must know that we will kill them, code or not. If they all die, we will find another way. His mouth turns in a frightening grin. She wouldn't have locked the terminal from her fellow memorialists. One of them will know something. Let them go. Just let me talk to them. It won't cost you anything to try. I want to help you now. We'll try this. Oh, Jesus. I can get up to a maximum of 75%. Let's see what yours start with. No. No. And no. You see, it'd be really useful to have Tiber right now, wouldn't it? Alright, 75 isn't terrible. Yay! Motley considers your words for a long moment, then you may be right. Alright, you have my permission to speak to the prisoners. If you get the code from them, we can end this charade. Or charade, depending on which side of the room you're standing. Tarry, and more will die each day until either you or they give us what we need. He turns to the woman bound on the floor. The code is all we want, after all. The rest of this does not become any of us. Oh, now you're worried about whether it becomes you or not. Bad people. Narv the Blessed. Utvai Gloss. Tulira Kaio. These rocks appear to have been brought in from the outside and welded into place somehow, sealing this entrance. This material is springy to the touch, but impossible to damage. You can make out only diffuse shadows beyond it. Lots of dead people. Talira Kaio, this middle-aged woman sits stoically, her hands bound in front of her legs. The sleeves of her robe have fallen from her wrists, and you catch sight of yellow and purple bruising above the lacerations from her tightly cinched bonds. Streams of tears have carved channels down her dust-covered face. She looks up at you, her eyes the color of the seas around Sagus. 2 more tears slip silently down her cheeks. She turns away from you. Has he come to save us, to end these pointless deaths? No, probably not. Who are you? She does not answer. Instead, she turns away, tears dripping from her chin. Why are you crying? She shakes her head almost imperceptibly, but says nothing. Do you know the passcode to the Whisper Lock? Finally, she looks up at you and speaks, her voice hoarse as though she has been shouting for days. You are one of them. I will not speak to you nor give you the passcode. Even the clue, the name of the Setro Prince, is too much to give him. Ah, there we go. Is the passcode Gunny by any chance? They'll kill you if you don't tell them. I'll kill you if you don't tell me. More people will die if you don't give them the passcode. I am not one of them. I'm only passing through. I'm not one of them. I want to help you. That is the question, isn't it? I know it now, apparently. Let's try to convince them. More people will die if you don't give them the passcode. She bites her lip anxiously as though she's considered that already. She looks nervously into your eyes but says nothing. I don't want anyone else to get hurt. Their leader is in the Necropolis. If you give me the code, I can find a way to stop them. That's fair. That is a mission we're on. She considers you for a long moment. Finally, she nods. You seem a kind and just person. I believe you. But you must promise not to tell them the code, not for any reason. I can't promise that. I mean, if we promise... I mean, this is going to play out the way, you know, as though you didn't have the ability to read minds. But you have the ability to read minds. You know the passcode already. Can't promise that. She snaps her head back as though slapped. I suppose I appreciate your honesty. Your honesty. But I won't be telling you anything. Very well. I kind of want to see what would have happened if I'd called her on it. Probably not the best of things. This makes the situation different. This is why we keep saving the game over and over again. I mean, to be fair, I could have, I could just keep going down that route, but, you know, it's important. Alright, so, do that, do that, do that.
I'll remember that.
Her face becomes the color of ash. Her mouth opens and closes in a wordless stammer. It takes a moment for her to collect herself. No, she says finally. Of course not. That's ridiculous. But her voice is shaking and her eyes plead with you not to tell. Farewell. I didn't get my tides up. That's the only difference. Yeah, that's all the thing about the passcode. Alright. Can I just go back over there? Is that what's gonna happen? This is getting complicated. Too complicated! The piebald man watches you approach, a sour smile pulling at the edges of his lips. You're back. I don't suppose you've learned anything. Did someone named Kiyatawa come through here? The Dendra child, yes. His mouth curls in a slight sneer. She came to the valley some time ago. She went down to see Lord Inifir before the memorialists locked us out. She's probably still down there. If you wish to see her, find the code. I don't know the code. I'll keep looking. Why are you wasting my time? I don't know. You're blocking my light. Jalen Demaith? Jalen Demaith. This alluring woman looks up, white hair brushing her shoulders. She allows a slight smile to pull at the corners of her mouth. Her face is confusing, for though her skin has the tightness of youth, her eyes pierce you with the wisdom of 100 years. She rests her hands on the daggers at her hips, perhaps waiting to see if you have the courage to make the first move. You wouldn't be thinking of pulling those daggers on me, would you? Any suggestions how to get information out of the memorialist? Who are you? Jalen of the Underhouse Demaith. Demaith? Of Underhouse Demaith. She says, then blinks. Sorry, habit. Demaith has gone into the dark like all the others. I'm just Jalen these days. And what brought that on? You mentioned an underhouse. What's that? I can't believe I told you my full name, she says with a rueful chuckle. My Croft father would have had me whipped. Her hands close over her daggers. I come from a world beside this one, from a city in the hollow core, ruled by 16 underhouses built into the walls. Hey! Well, then, she frowns, counting silently. A few decades back, I woke to screams, and not one or two like you'd get from the lower city from time to time, but hundreds. She grins, but there is uneasiness in it. I'm getting soft, that's the only explanation. So there was a series of adventures released for Numenera that were not done by Mighty Cook Games. It was contracted. I think John Marvin wrote them. That talk about kind of a Hollow Earth thing going on inside the Ninth World, where you go in and there are cities and they've got like another sun down there, if I recall correctly. I have not played any of these adventures, but a friend of mine, Reese, did art for them. So it's just sort of cool seeing potentially that referenced. I don't know if that's what's being referenced here, but that'd be cool. I found out that shadows were pouring from the walls of the world. The underhouses, the people inside, were just melting into it to screaming. That's not good. Staring past you, she continues. A few of us made it out through a portal in the bloom. The shadows wouldn't follow. I think the bloom scared even them, she grins. At any rate, I made a living for a while, plying the family trade, but there was no joy in it. Not until I found the Endless Gate, and they gave me a reason to work. Okay, strange side character, tell me about your family trade. She barks a laugh, hitting her forehead with the heel of her hand. Where is my head today? I'm a... What's the word you use here? Torturer. I get information through pain. Underhouse Demaith was famous for it, and I was the only one of my family left. I thought I'd make them proud by following in the trade here. She shakes her head, signaling at her own naivety. Nearly starved my first year in the bloom. Barely anyone wanted to hire me, and those that did paid pittances for my family's holy work and treating me like some kind of monster. Okay, came through the bloom, so that's probably not referencing those specifically. This is, the bloom leads to a different place. She pinches the bridge of her nose. I drank a lot in those days, talking about my family and how they served the people they killed. Freed them from their secrets, right? And one night, I said all this to a member of the Endless Gate. She chuckles. Such luck. They said I belonged with them. They were right. Talking about the death of your world doesn't seem to pain you all that much. Well, it was foretold, she says with a careless shrug. Underhouse Deshando, that was the prophet caste, was wrong about the date is all. Shame that all of us suffered because they were sloppy, but they're either dead now or still getting eaten. She sighs. In other words, I knew it was coming my whole life, wasn't expecting to live through it, so getting weepy about the whole thing would be a slap in the face to everyone I left behind. You wouldn't be thinking of pulling those daggers on me, would you? I'd prefer not to, she says, palms of her hands flat on the rounded pommels of her twin weapons. You seem pleasant enough. I suppose we'll see how things go, won't we? Any suggestions on how to get information out of the memorialist? Well, you'd think violence would work, but that's a dead end. She breathes an irritated sigh. I think she's one of those altruists, the ones who will stand up to days of torture, but spill any secret if that'll help those who hear it. She spreads her hands with a roll of her eyes. You notice a streak of blood along the edge of her thumb. Obviously, she knows we don't mean her well, but maybe you can convince her you do. Farewell. Seek the truth, stranger. Sure, just give me a minute.
Learning begets doing. Or is it the other way?
I forget. Anything else? Killer! No. Utveig Loss. This short, red-haired man has vivid green eyes that emanate a mix of sadness, lost dreams, and hope. The stranger sizes you up, and for a second you feel true interest in your persona. But then he looks away, lost in his thoughts. A moment later, he turns back and smiles. This smile is like his eyes, full of shards of emotions, caution, cynicism, fear, and friendliness. His arms are tied, and he looks like he's been beat up pretty badly. I'm Utveig, by the way, Utveig Loss, and leader of these sad sacks.
Wish we could meet under better circumstances. Can you tell me about yourself? Utvag lost. He straightens, though. It's clear the effort pains him. I'm an explorer and do-gooder, self-proclaimed. For some reason he smirks at the stout man next to him when he says this. I've been all over the world, had every occupation and hardship you can imagine. I even had my luck stolen from me. And you know what I learned in all of that? He leans forward. You can do anything if you work for it. Anything. Ah, yeah. How did you get here? He leans forward conspiratorially. Let me tell you, he says. We left the oasis some weeks ago, tracking a tale of deceit and fabled Numenera. We were hired to find something called a world string, a tiny contraption that can spin a web so fine it's all but invisible, but so strong it can slice the world in two if someone had the means and the mind for it. No idea if it actually exists, but that's how it all started. Well, there we were, out in the Verjulian wastes, when we happened across a broken hound the size of a griffalo. Something had irritated it, so we decided to seek shelter and wait for nightfall to see if it might not range a little further from the route we wanted to take. I was looking for just such a place, when something slammed into me and knocked me down into this valley. It was Narv trying to kill me again. I don't blame him, though. It's all for the best. Narv and Jenkins fought... Wait a minute. I wonder if he's... Hey... You know some folks who were camping up top? Narv and Jenkins followed, of course, and we ran into these fine memorialists in a bit of trouble. I'm never one to turn down a challenge of people in need, but it's almost a curse, you might say. So, of course, we agreed to help them lock their necropolis. After that, you can see what happened after that. Who are your companions? He tilts his head toward the rat-like man near him. That's Narv the Blessed, meanest bastard this world has seen, except that he keeps messing it up somehow. Narv the Blessed. That's the brush you're painting me with, huh? Bah! He scowls and turns away. Utvag gestures with his head to the earnest-looking man with a smile. And that's Jenkins, the Jinxed. Always around to help, especially when you don't need it. Did you say you needed help, boss? He laughs. No, friend. Or at least there's nothing you don't already know about. Very well. Don't forget about us, right? Are those... I wonder if those were the ones that were companions of the ones up top. I can't remember what names they used, but there were two of them missing. I thought Narv and Jenkins, it sounds familiar, but I don't know. Narv the Blessed. This stout fellow has a cruel scowl and beady eyes. He is unkempt and dressed in clothes that don't quite fit. In a low, gruff voice, he seems to be muttering to himself about some plot or other going wrong. His hands are bound and constantly working at the cords as if they have a life of their own. This is reminding me of something. Something else besides just what's been in here. Hey, look at that. Let me quickly respond here before I forget. And now that we've done that, back to this. Okay. The thing this reminds me of, yeah. A series of books I have not read. Anyway.
Fritz Leiber. Don't know if there's any connection, but yeah, it's a thought. Okay. Back to this. Okay. Name's Narv the Blessed, if you can believe that, which I can't. You tell me about yourself? I'm an explorer and a villain. The worst villain you'll ever meet. And by that I mean that no matter what I try to pull, it somehow ends up helping people. He spits. Blessed indeed. How did you get here? He leans forward and talks to you in low tones. It was all Ludwig's fault. God's damn do-gooder can't help himself. We're on a quest, he calls it, for this fabled string or whatever. I figure it's my chance to get off him once and for all. We came across this enormous broken hound, so I tossed a few rocks at it to get its attention. Well, Ludwig wouldn't fight it or run, no. He calmed it down and left it alone. So I tried a second time, shoving Ludwig down a mountainside when he got too close. As luck would have it, I lost my balance and fell down with him. Of course, idiot Jenkins follows us to help. He puffs out a blast of air. That's how we got to this valley. When the memorialists asked for our help, we all saw an opportunity. Jenkins to help Ludwig to grow on his path or whatever, and me to finally do Ludwig in. Narv shakes his head sadly. And those cultists caught us before I could even try anything. I tell you, nothing ever goes my way. Right. Who are your companions? Even though you just told me? The redhead fellow, he's Ludwig Loss. In a hushed tone he adds, I've been trying to kill him for about 12 years now. He leans back and indicates the smooth-faced man. And the young pup here there is Jenkins the Jinxed. He'll want to help you. Don't let him. He leers at the young man who smiles back at him as if he'd just said the nicest thing. Farewell. Good riddance. It's weird how the graphics make them look identical. Hello. This young man smiles up at you shyly, his left eye sealed shut by a combination of grime and blood. The rest of his body hasn't fared much better, and the cords around his wrists and ankles have rubbed his flesh raw. He sees you staring and shakes his head so hair falls over his ruined eye. Can I help you? He asks politely. You're bound and bruised and you ask if I need help? Ah, he looks at the cords that bind him, testing them experimentally. I mean, I know you're probably right, but couldn't you help anyway? Couldn't you need help anyway? He looks up at you hopefully. Maybe just a little bit of help. I do need to know the passcode for the whisper lock. Oh, man. Not at the moment, thanks. I see, he nods wisely. Well, if you ever need a helping hand, a helping pair of bound hands, I'll be right here. He beams up at you, apparently unaffected by his own words. Just so you know. Eratus says, I think you and I are going to get along splendidly, Eratus says. He would have made a splendid hero. Perhaps he already is. Jenkins seems momentarily taken aback and ducks his head shyly. You're the first person ever to say that to me, he says, sniffling and wiping his eyes. Eratus leans down and clasps him on the shoulder, and the two of them bask silently in mutual affection. Who are you? I'm Jenkins the Jinxed. He wrinkles his nose. It was my first choice of name, believe me, but I don't really mind it anymore. It's kind of apt. He looks you over, then shuffles forward a little, leaning closer. You see, I'd really like to help people, but I have a habit of getting lost. He says in what he clearly thinks is a whisper. I'll camp down for the night with my party, and by morning they'll all be gone. Aww. He stares up at you in wide-eyed wonderment. It's a terrible curse, really it is. He kicks at the floor and sighs. Ludwig and Narv are the only people I never lost, he says morosely. Not for lack of trying. Don't worry, Narv, I'll never try to lose you. How did you get here? Well, we came across the wastes, he says pensively. The Virgilian wastes, of course, not the Tempest wastes. He laughs lightly, as if at his own joke. Then Narv pushed Ludwig down a sand dune, and he tumbled into this gravestone valley. Almost broke his neck. I'm glad he didn't, though. Still don't know why he pushed him. Maybe it was an accident. Yeah, that clearly was it. Then he pauses, searching his memory. We ran into these memorialists who asked for our help. They wanted to lock the Necropolis from these cultists. Of course I said yes, but, well, we weren't so lucky. But at least we kept them out. Who are your companions? The red-haired one is Udvag Loss, our leader. He's been all over the world, you know. He's famous. Jenkins gives you a nod, his face serious, as if to impress upon you the gravity of the situation. The other fellow is Narv. He tries to hurt people, but it never turns out right. What? Narv's eyes widen as he looks around worriedly. I don't hurt people. Jenkins smiles and leans in toward you. I like him. he thought I hadn't noticed. How stupid does he think I am? Farewell. See you soon. I'm not going to ask him for the password because I have it already. Now, having talked to these people at length... Actually... I would ask that you give me a moment. I shall, Yes. I shall be right back.
Okay, I'm back. I know you can't see me yet. But I assure you, I'm very real. Yeah, no, was feeling a little lightheaded. I had to stand up. And just try to take care of one or two things, and hopefully we're okay. I don't know. And then I sit up straight and the top of my head disappears. Alright. Yeah, that was weird. That was a little weird. We're gonna keep going. Okay, we've already looked around, done a bunch of stuff. I don't think talking to any more cultists will do anything. Soon we'll have the lock open and we will rejoin our brethren at the gate. Speak to Motley, is in charge here. He'll help you find the path. Help us open the lock. The power of the gate will be yours. Sure. Let me get on that real quick. Abandoned bowls, rotted fruit, incense, and other oddities fill the corridor. Tokens brought to honor the dead.
Eridus, did you really crash an airship into the cliffs?
No.
Stuff to loot.
You see, I skillfully stopped the airship with the ground. Why am I explaining this to you?
Because I asked?
Well, then, you know, for a girl with so many questions, you certainly have an answer for everything.
On it.
Loot! Okay. Interesting.
Let's go.
Ooh, what's that? Kendiru! Bonded item. Bond this worm to yourself, and +1 damage per effort applied. +4 damage, +1 damage max, +8 on unarmed attacks. Okay. -1 training level endurance, -1 level in healing. Interesting.
Fine.
This is interesting, all these little things we can grab. And this heavenly submission, this otherworldly gem is unlike anything you've seen before, with cuts so fine that they are beyond counting. Hey! Nice oddities. Thousands of names scroll across the surface of this sphere. There is no indication of how they died, assuming that's what the names mean.
I'm ready.
Take some of that.
If you're sure it's safe.
No. Hey, you're the one who doesn't want me to abandon you. You're the one who wanted to come along.
I'm ready. I'm always ready.
Are you? And just so I don't have to pick those monies up again. What was I looking? I was looking for something. I can't remember now what it was. Aside from, oh yeah, I was gonna look in here real quick, just in case. No? Okay, good.
Of course.
These lights, bending and refracting in upon themselves, must have been brought to honor someone important. The names have been worn away by time, however. Let's see. What else?
Like a whisper.
An enormous cavern yawns beyond the platform. A seemingly infinite number of honeycombed rooms stretch out past where you can see. Oh, good lord.
Sure it's safe.
I am not. I think I've moved like 5 feet, but I'm going to save the game again because I'm nervous. For that is how this happens. Dare we interact with this? Dare we? Yes, we dare.
A shimmering field obscures this pedestal. It seems to be emanating from a small device within the field. That must be the Whisper Lock. Also inside is a configuration of buttons surrounding a central dial, but with the Whisper Lock engaged, there is no way to reach them. So if we say Goonie, we'll get in.
I'll remember that.
With a sigh, the shimmering field disintegrates into glimmering shards of light. The controls are now accessible.
Making a note.
That's the trouble is, will they know? They know. Ah! Motley's surprise is evident, as is his pleasure. He clasps you on both shoulders. Now we can get back to helping Lord Inifir. But first, to release the prisoners. Motley nods. One of the cultists draws his blade, but instead of cutting their bonds, he puts it to the neck of the first prisoner in line. He intends to kill. You got what you want. Let them go. For our Lord in the gate. He motions the cultist to halt. Confusion blooms on his face. The spirit is encaged in flesh. We must release it for Lord Inifir. I thought you understood. This is what we do. I won't let you if we attack. I am more powerful than your Lord Inifir. I command you to leave this necropolis, or I will release your spirits. Well, here we go. Oh, Jesus. I'm starting at 0. This is a strength thing? Hey, could you do this? No, you couldn't. Madkina? 60% is not terrible. Yeah, that's the most I can get on this. Nope. As you will it, the pudgy man snarls. He backs away, calling to his comrades. Children to me, we must protect Lord Inifir. Oh, great. So, before this happens... Before we do this, I'm not opposed to doing the fighting. However, there are a number of things, right? I want to pull it back real quick. Because there's one little thing I want to hunt down here. I want to chase this down real quick.
Ready.
It's a little nuts, maybe. No, there are a couple of things. First of all, I mean, I could just attack them there and then try to do it that way, but... We'll see. Because it looked like they were starting to just kill them right there in the first round of combat, so that's not good. But the... Hey, what's that?
I'm going.
The floating darkness for you looks a little like the dying minim you saw earlier, only this one is even more closed. It is furled like a black, unblossomed rose, as if it was looking for something to bring it to life. You have a sudden gag reflex. Something lurches in your chest. Something inside your body is reacting to the minim, trying to get out. Let's examine it. The more you look at the minim, the more it seems to you like an unpollinated flower. It is dormant and looking for something to bring it to life, but what? Expel what's trying to get out of your body? This is nuts. As soon as you open your mouth, a slick black cloud surges out, emptying your lungs of air almost completely. It's the black flecks from the dying minim, but they change somehow inside your body. The cloud floats toward the minim. Where it touches, the minim becomes more diffuse, less a clot and more a cloud, expanding, unfurling until its dark center is revealed. And within that center, a pulsing red light and a welcoming warmth that carries with it the echoes of sounds you are not hearing around you. Oh, that hurt. Yet the black sludge continues to spew from your lungs. You're unable to control it, retching out more and more until finally, when it feels as though you're going to pass out, the last of it slips past your tongue. You feel weaker, but at least it's out of your body now. So, it's another rift we could try to walk through. Don't know where it leads. See what this is, man. Okay. Yes.
Of course.
The floating darkness is awakened. Blah, 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 blah. The clouded clothes. Within this darkness, see a flickering red light, like the reflection of the fire, and as comforting warmth comes from within, carrying with it the echoes of sounds you're not hearing around you. Try to walk through. You step into the warm red darkness and it swallows you, turning you into smoke and sparks. You drift and swirl through a black void, floating toward another patch of flickering red, then suddenly you are somewhere else. Ah, okay. So that one is now fixed. Interesting, okay, that's cool. Which is good because I wanted to go here.
Yes.
No, per se it doesn't care. Let me just check with these folks to see if this is what I thought it was going to be. Or if I'm just conjuring names up in my head. Which I easily could be. Well, I mean, the only way around this is going to be through it, so I think, yes. The only other folks that we can tell them. Yeah. Head through. Let us head through. Might need to get help from them. At least let them know what's happening. Okay, do you know anything about a dead girl named Choi? Never heard the name.
I'll remember that.
Did you say Choi? Beltrax interrupts in surprise. I remember that name. It was from a tomb in the Necropolis, though I don't remember anything else about it. The name only stuck in my mind because of the strange way the tomb made me see it. I can't explain it. You'll have to see for yourself. Just remember to hold your breath. He scratches his chin. I remember I had joined one of the memorialists for her rounds that day. That particular marker was in tomb 4221. Oh no. The reason I'm saying oh no is because I am now remembering there was a sequence of 4 numbers earlier that I think I wrote down, but I must actually find the I must find the appropriate note card. Could it be 1535? I'm not sure. I wrote 1535 down earlier. There's so many notes for this thing, or so many note cards, rather, I should say, nearby that may have absolutely nothing to do with anything that's going on here. I mean, this won't become pertinent until we get to the do we actually get to the tombs, but at the same time, I kind of wanted to see what I have here. I have no idea what that is. Okay. A lot of strange things have been happening. A lot of strange things have been happening with my note cards. Yeah, okay. Well, so much for all those. There are other note cards over here. I'm not going to go through them all, but just in case. Yeah, these look more like the note cards I was looking for, but alright. 5131. What are all these numbers I'm finding? It's always 4 numbers. I never know what they're for. Okay. Well, we're not going to worry about it right now. We'll worry more about it later. And hope that we don't get to a point where I've got to input just numbers by themselves and you just have to keep trying until I hit the right ones. 4221. Which I should write down. But you know that one item that I could really use to write it down with? Yeah. I don't have that item right in front of me. Because of course I don't. We got all these note cards, but I do not in fact have a pencil. Tragic. It's very tragic. But I need to write this down. It's very important. I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay. Four, 2, 2, 1. There we go. Surprising that you would know a tomb that I do not, Beltrax. Good thing for our friend, though. He beams. I mean, okay. Until was successful? Oh, joy! The look of relief on his face is palpable. His expression turns worry. Alas, I don't know the passcode. Talira said if something should happen to her that we should seek the name of the Saturi Prince. But I do not know what this means. Perhaps its finding will come more easily to you. Yes? A lot of different ways to get that passcode. Farewell. Alright. Well then. I mean, that helped a little bit. That helped us with, something we're looking for anyway. Beltrax recognized the name Choi. He said he saw a tomb with that name at the location 4221. He also said to hold my breath. Passcode is Gunny.
Let's go.
Well, actually, before we do that, I think we may need to rest simply because, well, you see what's going to happen. It is likely we're going to be fighting. And so I'm going to have to pay them the ridiculous sum. Yeah, I'll save over that.
Yes. Now.
They are asking to protect us while we sleep. Because there's a lot of fighting we may have to do shortly. Alright, here you go. Well, keep watch. Go to sleep.
Oh, I can breathe again.
Alright. Well then, here we go. Is there anything I want to trade to anybody? I mean, they have spaces open for bonded items. So we might want to do something about that. If nothing else. I should just group these into different things. Do you have the endurance skill? No. Alright. This is going to reduce my edge if I use it, though. I don't want to reduce my edge. I need all I can get. Okay. Well, let's see how this goes.
A word. Why, yes, it is. So clever.
Okay, let's go through here. Yeah. So very clever. Oh, I see. Wait. Because I've got them wearing those rings. Ah. Yeah, I see the problem there. I'm just spreading the negatives by doing that. Dagnabbit. Rings. Share all fetals and 25% of stats healed. I mean, that's going to be more useful in, in terms of certain things. It's not a great idea then to necessarily do that. So therefore, I don't know, I kind of want to just try something else. Give that a try. Here, you try this for a while. I'm wondering about taking these ornaments off, just so that we have more room to attach ornaments. I know I'm just kind of messing with this for a bit, but Yeah, let me go ahead and remove these rings from them. It seemed cute at first, but I don't really care enough now. So let's see. I'm gonna give one of them Sucker Punch and the other one this energy, these conduit rings. Gonna give Matkina the conduit rings.
As if I need decoration.
You know. And I will give the Sucker Punch. Interesting. Should I give the Sucker Punch to, No, she's got an ornament that she wants to carry. Just increases her cipher limit. So, yeah, I'll give him the Sucker Punch.
Do I look dashing or smashing?
Yes. Okay, that'll do for now. I'm having thoughts about going ahead and buying that freaking shield. Tis tricky, tis tricky. It's very clever of them to create this this additional vortex that we can only get into later. Once we're at the point we're going back and forth. Okay, we're gonna save here. Yeah. We've been doing prep. We come back here. Let me see about buying something. All right. I mean, this would be better also than my current weapon, now that I'm thinking about it. It's a heck of a thing to try to decide, you know? So let's see. Yeah, what the heck. We're doing it. This comes from viewed with Numenera and slow all enemies who land on the shield. Sure. We'll distribute it all in a minute. Ruffian Dagger, Crystal Edge looks well. I mean, it's better than what I've got right now. Crystal looks splendid, but it sharpens as you grasp it. It sharpens the longer you focus on the blade. As you do, you hear a soft whispering sound coming from right behind your head. But when you turn around, you see no one behind you. Nice. Alright. So I will now remove this and instead equip this.
Good balance.
Which apparently has good balance. I'll go ahead and sell the one I was using. Should I just go ahead and sell a bunch of stuff? I don't know, maybe. Just a bunch of stuff I'm not going to use. Could be. A lot of these are oddities that I could just unload at this point. Plus 2 might, only usable by the Castoff. This is plus 20% evasion. Which I kind of would like to give that to Rin. As protector. You can't use a shield. You don't use a shield, generally. As far as I can tell. Let's find out. I guess you can. Alright. Is that everything? I think that'll be everything for right now. There are these, like, healing things that could, like, help us out a lot. If we need them. I don't know. Heals 6 points of health per turn. Heals 23 points of health on allies in tank range. I mean, these are pretty good. How many ciphers can she carry?
Do you ever think before you do any of the things you do?
No.
Never. Thinking slows your mind. Always act before thinking, and then act again. If you do it right, you'll never have to think at all.
Ah, yes, that explains a great deal about modern society, actually. I know, there's a lot of management of stuff going on right now. Yeah, she can carry like 3 more ciphers, so... Yeah. I can carry 2 more ciphers. So... I'll let her have these healing objects. Because I think they will come in handy. Okay. It's funny how a lot of these armors and stuff are only usable by the Last Castoff. Did you notice that? Okay. There are a lot of things I need to just get rid of. Shall we do that? I think we shall. I think we're just going to get rid of a bunch of stuff and then save and go in, because I'm tired of carrying all these things around. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna sell this book because we've used it. Apparently some of the oddities do have uses, but you know. These rings seem like a cool idea. I'm going to get rid of them. Candiru. I'll think about it. The healing sword. I'll hold on to the healing sword. Just in case. There we go, that'll do nicely. I'm just worried that this only works temporarily, you know? I guess we can find out, though. Yeah, I'll just save over this. So finally, now, is that permanent or temporary? That's the question. Because it looks like the stats went up. Although this might I think stayed where it was. No other weird effects on us right now.
Not that I can tell. Yeah, no positive fetals, so, alright. Are we ready for this? Who knows? Go, go, go. Alright. The question for me becomes, is it better to fight them out here? Out here? Or at the gate? Because they won't be able to kill the prisoners so quickly. If we fight them out here, catch them by surprise. Alright. I mean, I could attack them here. What you're doing is wrong. It ends now, and that's it. It's the trick. If I open it up over here, I don't know. Let me check something here. Motley, yes? Just want to see if it's better. Just want to see which way is better to deal with Motley. Uh-huh. All right. Okay, so there's several, there's, well, yes, you said just sort of looking. There are a few different ways, apparently, to do this. In the meantime, oh, hey, I can interact with this body. This corpse is curled pitifully on its side as if anticipating another kick to the ribs. Their eyes are opened in horror at whatever happened to them. Whoever this person was in life, they are unrecognizable now. The combination of starvation, beatings, and torture has rendered all but their eyes unreadable. There's an indentation on the middle finger of their right hand that might once have borne a ring, but that too is gone. Go through their pockets. You find nothing but a lovingly folded scrap of paper with the number 4135 and the name Najma. Okay. So we have Choi and we have Najma. And possibly one other that I'm not sure about. 1535? Or another combination of those letters? Numbers? Who knows? Who knows anything? Close the corpse's eyes. Pull the eyelids closed, shut his horrified mouth. Thank you. Talira's gaze lingers on the corpse, but the gratitude in her voice was heartfelt. Leave it alone. Gold tide. You're trying to be too nice a guy. Let's see. Well, let's play this through for now as though we were doing everything in good faith and take it from there.
So I think this again is one of those things where you can try all the passwords until you're done. This is the one. Oh, hey. 3431, it says. Necropolis. I'm getting a lot of these numbers to try. All of these little notes that I have. And I have no idea what they mean. I'm very confused. I'm not sure what's going on. Alright, well, keep going. Oi. Alright, yeah, I should have picked that up. But I didn't. Sorry, I'm just wanting to make sure I have everything I need for this, even though I may or may not get to it right now. Who knows? We're gonna go a few more minutes, so we'll see how this goes. However, we must discover what is happening. It is vitally important to the future of mankind. There it is, 5131, okay. I now have every note card on which I have written down numbers for these freaking tombs, or at least things that look like numbers that I've written down for these freaking tombs. We'll find out what that means. Is there? Oh, hey. That was weird. Still there? Okay, good. Alright. You come back so I can monitor you. Alright, good. Here we go. Let's fight. Ah, Motley surprised as evidence as is his pleasure. He clasps you on both shoulders. Now we can get back to helping Lord Interfere. But first, to release the prisoners. Motley nods when the cultist draws his blade, and instead of cutting their bonds, puts it to the neck of the prisoner in line. First prisoner he intends to kill. Got what you want? Let them go. Spirit is encased in flesh. We must release it for Lord Interfere. I thought you understood this is what we do. I could try again. Kind of wish I still had more of that stuff that you use to make yourself sound more impressive. No. As you will it. Restored one might pool. Yay. Children, to me we must protect Lord Interfere. Should have just attacked. I mean, let's be honest here. Should I should have just attacked. And I know, this is like, once again, he's cheating! Yes, yes he is. Because he would like to have more strength points available to him as he's about to go into battle. Just a strange habit I have. Strange, terrible habit I have of not wanting to die suddenly. Even though that it may or may not be helpful to die suddenly in this case. I don't know. Did we do everything already here? No, yeah, we're good. Okay, back to this. We're going to go through this quickly. I'm not going to reread everything.
I'm ready.
All right.
I'll remember that. Making a note.
Gold tide. We don't want the gold tide going up. Okay, Iridis. You are now the meat shield. Let's see, what abilities do you have? Okay, what wonderful things shall we use?
You've already lost.
Okay, so we're gonna... Oh dear. Alright, oh yeah, someone does need to do that. Alright. Let's see, what do we have? We have flex skill, exploration, lore, or conversation skill. Let's not worry about that. Warp dash. Oh yes, let's do that.
Taste of death for you. I'll handle it.
Okay. These folks are kind of down. We'll see how it's going. I know, it's terrible, isn't it? Sucker punch. Alright. Let's do sucker punch on... Who shall we do it on? Oh, did they drop? They dropped. Excellent. We'll do a clean car. Hmm.
I bet your ancestors felt that.
Alright. Now we're gonna end turn. Alright. Gotta do something about Motley. There we go. It's respectable. Okay, Rin, I need you to do a heal on someone. Heritus. Alright. And hide again. And they haven't even touched Makina yet. This is good. This is a heck of a cluster. All right. Tulera has not been hit yet, apparently. It says. That's weird. Wait. Gate Cultist, Motley, Rin, Gate Cultist, Gate Cultist. Okay. If we take Motley out, then that I think will do a lot. We will do transdimensional damage on Motley. $85 is good. All right. Actually, just end your turn. Oh, that's not good. That's entirely possible. I don't think we have enough points to really do anything additional, so I'm just going to attack this cultist. Yeah, 80% is fine. Critical hit, there we go. Let's get over here somewhere to help flank them. Alright. We want to onslaught? We just want to do a bit. I mean, there we go, Gate Cultist. I think we're just going to attack. We're already at 100%. Oh, and then there's one over there. Let's see, how are we all doing? Heal yourself, for goodness sake. Okay. And hide again, please. We're gonna keep you at 40 for this one.
Can't die.
Can't you? Alright. Let's see. Warp dash, we'll do certain things. I mean, we're at 95% with this. No, 75 isn't terrible. We'll keep you at 75 for now. There you go. Tilarakio. Thank you, stranger. I cannot express my gratitude enough. The memorialists owe you a great debt. She steps closer, lowering her voice. But though we are safer here now, the true danger still lies beneath. You must stop the children of the Endless Gate. Their gate is within the Necropolis itself. Close it, and you may free this valley. I will help you in any way that I can. Now tell me about yourself. Sure. While we're here, tell me about yourself. My true name is Tilira Kayo. I was buried here long ago to await the coming of paradise. Huh? Wait, what? May you call me Tilira. What is this paradise you speak of? She considers you anew as if determining your worth. My people are the memorialists, those who have discovered that this world is already filled with the dead. Though we walk and talk, we do not live, such is the paradox we face. The only escape we have is to remember who we were. We have been placed here as a test to see if we as a people are deserving of the good that is our birthright. Together we must rediscover our graves and the true names we held in life. If all could do this, paradise awaits. Ah. But should all forget, she stares beyond you at a future only she can see. The world will be cut off from paradise forever. The circle of rebirth will continue, without purpose or end. This dismal non-life will be all we ever know. How do I find the cultist gate?
Making a note.
I'm making a note. I have learned a great deal while held hostage. These children have loose tongues, all the looser for their insanity. The gate and their Lord Inifir can be found in the tomb 1254. Let's write that one down. Go and stop them if you can. What are all these other numbers that I keep seeing? That's the weird thing. Like, there's 3431 and 5131. And then possibly 1535, which I don't know! I've forgotten what they all are. Can you tell me how the terminal works? She laughed softly. Would that I knew. The Necropolis is a vast underground complex, so vast that generations of memorialists have yet to explore it all. The terminal, and those like it in the tombs themselves, will take you where you want to go through its magic. Magical terminals. All you must do is press the correct key sequence. The ancient memorialists carved numbers into the terminal so that we could more easily record and return to any location we desired. The pedestals in the tombs themselves have additional features. Pressing the central button will return you here to the surface, while the buttons surrounding it will take you to an adjacent tomb in either direction. Okay. Interesting. It is through this discovery that we have been able to explore the Necropolis in a more orderly fashion. Now that we're gone, is it possible for me to rest? They're gone. Is it possible for me to rest here? It is relatively safe, yes. I will keep watch to ensure it. Just let me know whenever you wish to retire. I'm gonna rest here now. No, not yet. Farewell, friend and savior. I mean, I could rest here now. That's great. We can rest. Wait, we can loot the bodies.
Yes.
We can take their buzzer.
Of course.
And a shadow flower. This flower has an everlasting pulsating light blue glow that becomes stronger with few lights around. Curiously, the pulsation period is approximately equal to the heart rate of a relaxed human. On occasion, and for no apparent reason, the pulse quickens, as if in fear or anger. In absolute darkness, it blooms with a light beyond the visual spectrum. Cool. And this is a battle axe.
I'm going.
That's another battle axe. That's another buzzer. I will be able to sell all of these. This is good. Hang on. Let's not crowd the corpses.
Ready.
Ooh, lots of things. So concentrated spray flesh, that'll be good. Scrawled note. This note was in Motley's pocket. The ink is brown and cracked and might be blood. Most of it is illegible, scratched in a hasty scrawl, but you can make out 4 numbers at the bottom. 5143. My God. Crossbow. Cool.
Eratus, a curious thought occurred to me. You know I've warned you about those. Really, Eratus? Why, yes. Oh, good one.
Nice.
You know, it is so nice to have someone I can talk to.
What happened to your friend? Did they kill your friend? I hope they didn't kill your friend. Jenkins. What happened to Jenkins? A lot of bodies here. Thanks for getting us out of that mess. And about Jenkins, listen, don't blame yourself. Oh, they killed Jenkins. That sucks. I suppose I should be thankful, so thanks. In fact, it's going to blame me for this good turn of events, I know it. That's unfortunate. Okay, we're gonna save here. We got a bunch of codes to check out. But we shall do that next time. Should we rest first? I mean, may as well. She bounce from me, so I'll watch over you as you do.
I can stand a little more of that.
Yeah, that's better. Okay, good, and it doesn't cost anything, which is even better. Okay, we'll try that again. Now. All right. Okay. Well, that I think is where we're going to leave it for now. Thank you very much for watching. It is much appreciated, as always. And let's see what's happening. So this weekend, tomorrow morning, we're going to be playing We Happy Few once again. More We Happy Few. More drugs and madness, as always. Then that afternoon, we're going to take yet another stab at the tabletop RPG Cold Ruins of Last Life. That, again, is a setting for Dungeon World where we're all undead. Hopefully we'll make it this time. We'll see. So we'll make another attempt at that. We'll see if we can manage that. And on Sunday morning, we'll be back with more Age of Mythology, the extended edition. I'm going to be playing through that campaign. I've had fun starting it up last time, so we're going to keep going. Then let's see. After that, also a Sunday early evening, we will have a tabletop one-shot. It'll be Fiasco. I've just hastily gathered some folks together, a couple of whom I have not met, not played with before. I don't know anything about them, but we're gonna see what happens, because I forgot there was that last Sunday to deal with. So we quickly gathered some folks, and we'll see what we can do. So that should be fun. Getting in another round of Fiasco is always fun. Then let's see, this coming week, Tuesday nights, I am on Off the Table, playing in their Urban Shadows campaign. That's at off_the table if you want to check that out. And then on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, we will have the first, that evening, the first of our short campaign in April, which is a RVR, which is a hack that I wrote. It's robot versus robot, in this case, Shakespearean robots. It's a hack of Lady Blackbird that I wrote, and that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be picking up, actually, from a previous one-shot we did of it. A couple of the crew members are coming back, and then we're going to be filling out the rest of the crew with some other folks. Some new characters, and we'll see how that goes. That should be fun. And then, of course, after that Friday, 1 week from today, we'll be back with more of this, and I'm going to be inputting a crapload of codes into this machine and seeing where it takes us, because I've got, including everything that I just found scrawled that looked like it was a code, I've got 7 codes I can try. So we're going to see how this goes. So this is going to be a lot of fun. But in the meantime, folks, do take care, and I will see you all of a sudden.